If you'd like online business explained to you in a way that you can actually understand, go to latenightim.com/explain. It's completely free, and I made it just for you. Now, how about an episode?
Episode 173.
Late Night Internet Marketing.
This week on the Late Night Internet Marketing Podcast, we answer a listener question from the Facebook group. Is it really possible to make money online using virtual real estate? All this and more on the Late Night Internet Marketing Podcast.
The Late Night Internet Marketing Podcast.
You've been working for somebody else, but you want a business to run yourself. You want to know how to start and where to begin. Can you get out your comfort zone, my friend? Yes, you can do it right when it's late at night. At the end of the day, your dreams burning inside. So keep it up and you will find that you're building your business one night at a time.
And now, broadcasting late at night from a little studio in the big state of Texas, your host, Mark Mason.
Hey, how is everybody today? I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day. This is Mark Mason. I am coming to you from the little studio in Dallas, Texas, and I hope you're having a wonderful week, getting all kinds of crazy good stuff done with your online business. That's certainly what's happening over here at Late Night Internet Marketing. Making a lot of progress, getting ready to head out to FlynnCon next week, the very first FlynnCon with my buddy Pat Flynn, and I'm excited about that. In the meantime, I'm throwing down some content for you guys right now, and I want to handle a listener question that I thought was really good that I got from the Late Night Internet Marketing Facebook group. If you're interested in joining that group, you can go over to latenightim.com/FB group. That's latenightim.com/FB group. That's for Facebook group. It's all lowercase, and you can go over there and join the group. You answer some simple questions that we have to keep the riffraff out of there, and that will give you access. I'll approve your access to that small group. And the purpose of that group is to have a safe place to discuss ideas, ask questions, and we'd love to see you over there again at latenightim.com/FB group. That's also the best place to get a hold of me because I'm an OG and I hang out on Facebook with all the other old people. All right, very good. So Wade Alderson posted this in the Facebook group. He said, hey, this might be way out there, and as a total newbie, I'm open to being made fun of, but I listened to a digital nomad podcast today where the guest travels the world and his company uses affiliate marketing to advertise for small businesses, and then he rents out the websites he creates to the end users for around $1,500 a month. As a newbie and not knowing anything at all, how can I get from being where I am to duplicating his system? Any ideas what books, websites, YouTube, and podcasts to study? That would mean the world to me. So great question, Wade. That was a super good question, and it's one that I haven't addressed in a long time. You know, this was something that years ago when people were working on this earnestly, we referred to as virtual real estate. Now, there's a lot of ways to crack this virtual real estate problem, but I thought what I'd do in today's episode is talk to you a little bit about this business model because it's something that some of you may be interested in tackling because it makes a really nice side hustle. Now, the first thing Wade mentions is he apologizes for asking the question and says he's open to be open to being made fun of. That made me chuckle a little bit. He's brand new to the Facebook group at the Late Night Internet Marketing Community, and that's one of like rule number one over there. There aren't any stupid questions. The only stupid questions are the unasked ones. So we're happy to handle this question. The idea of virtual real estate is simply this. There is search traffic out there on the internet for valuable stuff. You know this? We talk about this in affiliate marketing, right? With affiliate marketing, what I teach here at latenight.internetmarketing.com, you want to establish a website usually based around some kind of niche that has products, like let's say golfing, and you want to make recommendations of products on that website and help people solve problems on that website in a way that leads to sales of affiliate products. That's what affiliate marketing is. And so we teach you to get in front of the traffic, to find ways to create incredibly valuable content that results in the generation of traffic to your website and to convert that traffic into sales of affiliate products. And then, of course, you can grow those websites later to include your own products and so forth. But for affiliate marketing, we're really trying to get in front of that traffic and make a sale. Well, virtual real estate is a similar kind of idea where you create a website that you can get in front of valuable traffic, but then instead of making affiliate sales with that traffic, you rent that traffic or the result of that traffic, which is usually leads, to someone that needs those leads. So let me give you what I think is the most clear example. Let's say that you live in, I don't know, Pazuka, Kentucky. I don't even know if there is a place called Pazuka, Kentucky, but if there is a place called Pazuka, Kentucky, let's say that you live there and you want to hire an attorney. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to go to Google and you are going to type in the phrase DWI attorney or real estate attorney or whatever your problem is, attorney, Pazuka, Kentucky. That's what we all do. We go to Google and we search for the things that we want. Now, you might also go to Facebook and ask your friends what attorney they recommend. But typically still, most people, especially when they're dealing with stuff where they don't necessarily want to tell everybody else what they're doing, they will go to Google and they'll search for the thing that they want. Maybe they'll look for a plumber in that little town in Kentucky. Maybe they'll look for car repair, but whatever they're doing, they're going to Google and they're typing, hey, I need this service right here in Pazuka, Kentucky. So the idea of virtual real estate is let's take the example of attorneys, and let's say it's real estate. You need a real estate attorney. Let's build a website and call it something clever like Real Estate Attorney Pazuka, Kentucky. Did I say Paducah or Pazuka? Let's go with Pazuka. Pazuka, Kentucky. All right. So I build this website and I do things, search engine optimization things and content creation things that let me rank well for search terms that people would type in when they're searching for an attorney locally right there in Kentucky. And this might be, content like how to select a real estate attorney, common real estate attorney questions, information about some of the local, more popular real estate attorneys. There is a possibility as well. Basically, I would do keyword research to try and understand what are the types of content that people usually search for whenever they're searching for a real estate attorney in Pazuka, Kentucky. Okay, so now I've got this great website and I've got all this traffic and it's uniquely contributing, it's uniquely gathering up searchers of people that are looking for this particular thing. And I include an opt-in there. And that opt-in, I've got one of two choices here. Option number one for monetizing this website is I can include an opt-in that says, are you looking for an attorney right here in Pazuka, Kentucky? Just fill out this information and we will hook you up with attorney leads right here in Pazuka, Kentucky, depending on what kind of real estate you want. And then what you do is you accept that opt-in from that person, and then you sell those leads to local attorneys, right? So you're creating leads. Your piece of virtual real estate is generating an attorney leads. You're not an attorney, but you've got an arrangement with one or more of the local attorneys that allows you to sell those leads. And I tell you, for very high revenue kind of businesses like attorneys, this can be a very lucrative way to go, because the lifetime value of an attorney is of a client for an attorney could be thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. You know, if you're a real estate attorney, maybe your clients typically pay you something on the order of $10,000 to do whatever your average client wants to do. Or if you're some kind of estate planning attorney, maybe you're writing wills and doing trust sort of documents, maybe the average lifetime value of that client is $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000. It's very easy to imagine that for a qualified lead that completes a transaction with you, you might be willing to pay $100, $200 for that lead as an attorney. If you're a car repair shop, maybe you're willing to pay $20. You know, maybe the lifetime value of someone who gets oil changes in their car fixed at your place, they come 2 or 3 times, the lifetime value of that customer may be $700, $800, $1,000. Maybe you're willing to pay $25, $30, $40 for those qualified leads. It depends on the business, and that's a thing you can help as you're doing marketing consulting for people in your space. One of the things that you want to talk to them about is the lifetime value of the customers that you're helping to bring them, whether you're doing SEO for them or some kind of affiliate marketing. If you're trying to justify your marketing expense, always try to educate your customers about lifetime value. So that's one thing that you can do. You can create this virtual real estate, and you can capture leads and you can sell those leads. The other thing that you can do, and this is the thing that Wade mentioned this guy is doing that he heard about on the Nomad podcast, is that you can actually just simply rent the website. You can create this property. It's very generic, and you can have banner ads, or you can make the opt-in go directly to that attorney. So you say, okay, guy, here's the contract. It's basically an advertising fee. For $1,500 a month, I'll make everything on this website point to you. All the lead generation, everything will point directly to you. And this website, these virtual websites can be a lot more than just simply websites that collect organic content. You can have relatively generic YouTube videos that answer questions that people are searching for on YouTube. And you can have calls to action with those videos that point back to your website. You can generate Facebook content and point that back to the website. You can even run Facebook ads back to your website. For example, if you have an attorney website and you're getting $100 per lead, and you can generate a Facebook ad campaign that generates traffic for maybe $4 or $5 a lead, and you're able to sell those for $100, obviously that's a really good idea. So you can create these little virtual, in addition to the virtual website, you can build essentially a virtual neighborhood of YouTube and Facebook and Instagram content that drives traffic to this. So this is very lucrative. And one of the things that's interesting about this sort of operation is that it allows you to take advantage of local search engine optimization opportunities. So one of the things that's true about these high competition niches, easy for you to say, these high competition niches is that in general, these things may be very hard to rank for. If you try to rank for any kind of, say, real estate attorney or real estate attorney in a very broad market, like say real estate attorney Texas or some something like that. That's going to be very competitive, very hard to work to rank for the same reason that the leads are lucrative to sell. The search engine optimization is hard because these same attorneys that have money to buy leads, they also have money to spend on search engine optimization. So if you go to rank in too big of a market, then that's going to be a really tough row to hoe, as we say here in Texas. It's going to be hard to rank your website for too broad a market. But if you're in Pazuka, Kentucky, right, and that's a small market, it may be relatively easy for you to do local search engine optimization in that market to rank for attorneys in your area. And generally, when you do that, you're setting an address with that website and doing local search engine optimization by having local citations and so forth, which is probably something, local search engine optimization is probably something we need to talk about in a future episode. But you do the local SEO, the competition is much less usually for ranking in Pazuka, Kentucky, and you have a much bigger chance of winning. Then once you do that, maybe there are 4, 5, 6, 7 lawyers in that local area that you can market your website to and sell the leads in that way. So 2 options for monetization. 1 is to maintain total control of the website and sell the leads. 2 is to go ahead and rent the website. The third virtual real estate play that I've seen that's a little more complicated is that you can create a directory of local lawyers on the website, and you can have those attorney firms pay to be featured or to have featured listings or to have front and center advertisements on the website. So you can have multiple streams of income from different clients on the website. And you can do that in conjunction with selling the leads. You know, there's lots of different options there that you might want to do. And if you want to get more sophisticated, you could actually, when people opt in, you could ask them questions about their case, and you can help them by picking the right kind of attorney. So maybe instead of ranking for real estate attorney in Pazuka, Kentucky, you can have an attorney finder website as a type of real estate where you take not just the request for the opt-in request for an attorney, but some information about the case, and you have multiple clients for each different area of the law, and you sell those leads to the right attorney depending on what the customer is looking for. All kinds of possibilities. And the great thing about these kind of websites is if you do it well and with good integrity and you put effort into it, these virtual real estate websites can be very helpful. You can hire people, maybe law students, for example, to write helpful content that regular people need to know before they hire an attorney so that they can speak intelligently with an attorney. Now, obviously, you don't give legal advice on a legal website, but it's very important before you talk to an attorney or a plumber or a contractor or anything that you be educated, a used car dealer, whatever, that you be educated about the thing that you're about to do so that, 1, you can understand the person that you're talking to, 2, so that you can ask the right questions of the person that you're talking to, and 3, so that you know when you're being lied to. So you can create really helpful virtual real estate websites in this way, and that is one way to monetize them outside of affiliate marketing. So, Wade, I hope that was helpful. I did not listen to that particular episode of the Nomad podcast. I actually tried to find it, and I couldn't find that episode, but I hope that helps you understand at least my view of how you can create virtual real estate websites on the internet and monetize them by selling the leads that you generate.
This week, in the world of internet marketing news.
So I couldn't leave you today without actually talking to you about FaceApp, because everybody's talking about FaceApp. It's interesting to me that so many people in the media are talking about it and they don't even know what the internet is hardly. It's kind of humorous to me, especially not just the media, but some of our lawmakers really need help. They need better aides in their staff to help them understand technology. It's amazing. But anyway, I think it's an interesting question. So I'm sure you've all heard about this FaceApp. You put your face in there, it ages it, and then you can post that to Facebook. And the problem is when you do that, when you turn the app on, the terms of service are incredibly broad, which totally makes sense to me. The company is basically protecting themselves and their ability to make money in the future by saying that they can do whatever they want with any of the data that they get in order for you to use the app. Now, this is a typical thing that you're doing every day on the internet. You're giving away something in order to get something. It's a value trading proposition. Like when you use Google, when you use Gmail, you're giving Google the ability to read your mail so that it can decide to show you what ads it wants to show you. Okay, that's what you're giving away when you use Gmail. This is the same thing with FaceApp. You're giving away your information, your photos, and so forth. The problem is the terms of service for this were incredibly broad. And the question is, so what? I mean, I've had a lot of people, I hear the discussion, oh God, the earth is ending. And then there are other people on the other side of this equation that kind of are on the so what bandwagon. I don't really care. And I see that. I think there's a philosophical problem that when you start, there's a slippery slope, right? That when you start to really give away freedoms or privacy, either one, that eventually you end up with no freedom and no privacy. That's sort of a maxim of history that people worry about. I think that's a philosophical argument. What's the practical implication? I think that's the question. For me, the thing that occurred to me, this is a machine learning company. They do this aging with AI and particularly, I think, machine learning. So the obvious thing to me that they would do with this data, and they say they're not doing this right now, but I think the terms of service give them the ability to do facial recognition with your photo. So they have your information, because they have access to your Facebook profile. They have whatever information they have, and they have your photo, which they can use for face recognition elsewhere on the internet to, at least in the easy to think about case, just serve you ads in a way that they hadn't done before. Now, I think Facebook can do this too, right? Facebook also in general has your photo. They're doing face recognition already on your ads. And when that's how they're suggesting the tag names. When you go in to tag a photo, they recognize the faces in the app. So this risk is out there already. But I think in general, when you give someone your photo and they have your information, the obvious implication is that they can use facial recognition to find you elsewhere on the internet and do things with that information, like serving you ads that are related to the things that you're interested in. There have been other people that have argued that, well, since this is Russia and Russians are known for manipulating elections, that they might, use your photos for fake profiles and all this kind of stuff. First of all, that's tantamount to racism, right? All Russians are not election manipulators. That kind of stuff really bugs me. Okay, there are a lot of excellent Russian people, business owners and programmers out there that aren't doing bad things. Okay, so that drives me crazy. But the second thing about that I think is interesting is that it's sort of a contradiction. I mean, the argument is that people who intend to do very bad things, like manipulate elections, build fake profiles, and do other things that are clearly either illegal or immoral or wrong in some way, are only going to do it because they have your permission. So once you gave them, they wanted to do this really bad thing, but they couldn't do it until they got your permission, and now they can do it. So I thought that was a little bit of a silly argument, that that they were waiting on your permission, in this Facebook app, or this FaceApp rather, is the permission they finally needed to execute their grand scheme. Truth of the matter is, it's really easy to scrape personal information off of the internet, including photos, to go do evil. People are doing it all the time now. We see fake Facebook profiles right now. So it wasn't clear to me why this new avenue of getting data, while concerning, I understand, provided anything new. So all of the hysteria, very interesting, probably very good for the FaceApp people, lots of publicity. I'm sure that generated a lot of extra clicks for them, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes. So the last question regarding this is, am I particularly worried about it? Did I use the FaceApp? I did not, because I'm already old, so I don't really need to see that. But I'm not particularly worried about these sorts of things. Maybe I'm dumb and I should be more worried. I fully accept that there are bad people out there doing bad things, and maybe I'm just incredibly naive, but this is not anywhere near the top of my worry list.
Now it's your turn. What action are you going to take to build your business?
One night at a time.
All right. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week. Go get some stuff done on your business, and come on over to the Facebook group at latenightim.com/FB group. That's Facebook group, FB group. And let me know how it's going. And let me know if you have any questions that we can answer right here on the podcast. Ciao.
You can do it right when it's late at night.
You've been listening to the Late Night Internet Marketing Podcast.
Be sure to visit latenightpodcast.com today to leave feedback for Mark. Download special bonus content, access the show notes, and more. See you there.
Until then, go and make some great progress on your internet business. One night at a time.
One night at a time.
One of the things that's impressive and difficult about having a 9-year-old is how tenacious they can be. I love tenacity in a young person, because to me, it says something about what they're going to be able to accomplish when they're older, say, for example, in business or at school, at university, where tenacity is required to be successful. You have to have a certain amount of stick-to-itiveness in life in order to get where you need to go. In fact, it's one of the reasons that I like to hire engineers that have master's degrees, because as an engineer with a master's degree, you've suffered through, in most cases, some sort of thesis that you had to write, and that requires an amount of stick-to-itiveness, because you've got to fight through the research and actually create this 100-page document that describes what you did and how you got a result. And it says about a person that they're able to work through issues and stick to something, focus on something long enough to be successful. I like that. But with 9-year-olds, this can be challenging. And right now, my challenge is my 9-year-old wants a cat. Now, we've had cats, and our poor kitty Nala died several years ago. My daughter remembers this cat. She loved that cat. We didn't get another cat. At the time, we had 2 dogs. Right now, we're down to 1 dog. I really like being a 1-dog family. I'm very happy with that. And I don't love cats, and I don't mind having a cat, but what I mind having is a litter box. I do not like nasty box of feces in my house. That makes no sense to me at all, that I would want to have a box of poop stored in my house. It's craziness. Not to mention the fact that there's cat hair, and we have family that are allergic to cats. There's all those kind of issues. I think cats are kind of cute, and when they're when they're being friendly, which they aren't all the time. I think, they're fine. If they want to sit on my lap and purr, I think that's great. But the cat box, I'm out. So I'm telling the 9-year-old no cat, and she just can't understand it. And I get this text last night, Dad, why do you hate animals so much? I don't hate animals at all. I just don't want a cat. It's a bad trait to have, especially when you have a child that's obsessed with nature and animals. This is coming from a 9-year-old. Without animals, she writes, so many people would be really sad every day without a companion. Think about the introverts. They would have no friends. I mean, this is coming from my 9-year-old. Absolutely cracks me up. Introverts rely on animals because they don't judge them. That's what she wrote to me. Imagine what the world would be like without pets. Of course, for those of you that have taken logic classes in college, this is an invalid construction of an argument, because I'm not arguing for a world without pets. I am arguing for a Mason household, the little studio in Dallas, without poop in the house. I'm out.
Late night internet marketing.
Hey, it's Mark again. I wanted to tell you one more time about this absolutely free resource that I have for helping people who are trying to get the big picture for internet marketing, actually get started and understand what all their choices are. If that's not you, there's no more content. You can skip to the end. But if you're someone who came to this podcast because you're searching for how to get started online and you just can't cut through all the noise, I get it. That was me in 2007 when I was trying to get started. There were so many people throwing offers at me that I really couldn't even understand what all the different business models were. I couldn't understand how money moved around on the internet. And I couldn't really get a grip on what direction I wanted to go in so I could figure out how to move forward. I've created a free video resource for you just for that purpose at latenightim.com/explain. In several short videos, I just explained to you what internet marketing is all about and what online business is all about and the different options that you have for starting an online business. There's nothing to buy there. You just sign up for access and you get the videos just like that. So if that's interesting to you, or if you know someone who's in a same situation, send them that link, latenightim.com/explain, and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what people are thinking that are in the exact same position that I was in more than a decade ago in 2007. In some ways, it seems like yesterday. And in some ways, it seems like an entire lifetime ago. Again, that's latenightim.com/explain.
Late night internet marketing.